This video of Health Wealth is about a company I've been meaning to make a video about for quite some time. Regular viewers of this channel will know that I focus a lot on the clinical pipeline, perhaps a little bit more than even the financials. While the financial strength of any organization conducting clinical trials is very important in order to support these clinical activities, the real money as investors, though, comes from the success of those clinical trials. And this short video serves as a concrete example illustrating exactly this point. So let's dive right in. Although I have a PhD in biomedical engineering and over 15 years of working experience in the healthcare industry, I do not intend to give you investment advice. Please do your own research before making any investments. You are watching Health Wealth. If you're new to this channel, welcome. If you're not, nice to have you back. The company I am referring to is called Novocure. They are a medical device company who have invented and pioneered so-called tumor treating fields, and obviously they're active in the treatment of cancers. In this video, I won't focus on their technology, although I believe that as investors, you really need to be able to understand the technology or treatment modality employed by the companies you are investing in. This, however, will be reserved for a future video. Here, I'd simply like to focus on the April 13, 2021 announcement about the update on their so-called Lunar clinical trial. Novocure were founded in the year 2000, so as a 21-year-old company, it is not surprising that they already have approved treatments. Looking at their clinical pipeline, we see that they have already 2 FDA clearances for glioblastoma and newly diagnosed glioblastoma. These approvals allow the company to treat patients with one of the most severe forms of brain cancer. But we can also see that the company continues to be very active. They have 4 treatments which are currently in phase 3 and another 2 treatments which are currently in phase 2 clinical trials. The news they shared on April 13 about their treatment in non-small cell lung cancer had quite an impact on their stock price. On April 13, Novocure announced an update on their phase 3 pivotal trial called Lunar, which is for the treatment of non-small cell lung cancer using tumor treating fields. Based on the routine analysis of the data from 210 patients which were enrolled in the Lunar clinical trial through February 2021, the Independent Data Monitoring Committee concluded that the pre-specified interim analysis for the Lunar clinical trial could be accelerated based on the fact that the accrual and the number of events to date are sufficient to support this. The Data Monitoring Committee also stated that it is likely unnecessary and possibly unethical for patients randomized to the control arm to continue to the accrual of 534 patients as per the protocol with 18 months follow-up. In other words, the treatment is so effective that although Novocure blinded to the patients being treated with tumor treating fields versus the control arm, that because of the treatment success, it is unethical to continue the trial in the way that it is currently planned, and therefore more patients should actually be able and eligible, or perhaps sooner, to be able to be treated with tumor treating fields. The Data Monitoring Committee recommended a size of 276 patients with a 12 months follow-up for this clinical trial, which should still lead sufficient information and statistics to meet both primary and secondary endpoints of this clinical study. And based on these recommendations from the Independent Data Monitoring Committee, Novocure have started to work with the FDA in order to file for an investigational device exemption based on the recommended protocol adjustments. This is certainly good news for patients who suffer from lung cancer. Lung cancer is the most common cause of cancer-related death worldwide, and specifically non-small cell lung cancer, which this clinical trial is all about, accounts for roughly 85% of all lung cancers. So being able to address this market is fantastic news for patients and their families alike. But let's not forget about the financial rewards either. And so let's take a look and find out, how did the stock market and the stock price specifically of Novocure react to the announcement of this news. Novocure trades under the ticker symbol NVCR. On April 12th, they closed at $131.88 on the New York stock market, and following the news on the 13th, the stock price rose to $197.33, which is roughly a 50% increase in the stock price in a single day based on positive news on a phase 3 clinical trial. I hope that based on this example, you also come to realize just how important the clinical trial pipeline of any company in the healthcare sector really is. And this is, after all, one of the key points I'm focusing on my channel. Let me know in the comments if any of you already owned Novocure stock before, or if this has piqued your interest and you may consider investing into Novocure. I certainly believe they have a very bright future ahead of them. But please do your own research before making any investments, and if you're interested to understand and learn more about their very fascinating technology, wait for a future video which I intend to post soon. If you are an investor into the healthcare industry and you would like to learn more, please consider liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Thanks in advance.